What do Dan Garrett, Ted Kord, and Jaime Reyes have in common? They've all donned the Blue Beetle mantle, and they've all kicked supervillains' butts. With that being said, and in no particular order, here are the 10 strongest villains Blue Beetle has defeated. Let's go. Werewolves, technomorphy, psychic powers, reality warping. Jarvis Kord possesses none of those abilities. We will talk about villains who do have those types of powers throughout this video, but Jarvis Kord, he doesn't have superpowers and is your run-of-the-mill typical everyday robot engineer. The black sheep of the Kord family, Jarvis was the uncle of the second Blue Beetle, Ted Kord. I say was because Jarvis and the original Blue Beetle, Dan Garrett, were tragically killed in an event that saw Dan pass the Blue Beetle on to Ted. Jarvis is a master of robotic engineering, but his robots were no match for the OG Blue Beetle, who ultimately defeated Kord before perishing himself. The third Blue Beetle in the comics, and the character that the upcoming DCU film focuses on, is Jaime Reyes. The next villain on our list is DAMA, who, depending on which DC universe you're in, is connected to Reyes in different ways. DAMA of DC's New Earth is Tio Amparo, a family friend of Jaime Reyes, and is basically the leader of a cartel, for lack of better words. On DC's Prime Earth, DAMA is known to the world as Amparo Cardenas, and claims to be older than time itself. In this universe, DAMA is capable of mind control, energy manipulation, and is immortal. Blue Beetle has not only confronted this version of DAMA, but has also thwarted the crime lord variant as well. Remember how I mentioned werewolves earlier? Well, the next entry on our list is technically a were-coyote, but since it didn't sound as cool, I switched it up for gripping intro purposes. Now that that's been settled, the coyote is a vicious and feral baddie with superhuman strength and a unique canine-like physiology who was sicked on the Blue Beetle but was ultimately met with his demise at the hands of the hero. In the DC animated universe, Coyote was a short-lived member of the Suicide Squad featured in digital comics. Unfortunately for Coyote, this variant was also killed off. But death is pretty much in the job description, is it not? For the next entry on our list, we head over to DC's New Earth and once again focus in on the second Blue Beetle, Ted Kord, and one of his rivals, Arnold Daniel Beck, aka Overthrow. Once a low-level employee at Kord Omniversal Research and Development, or Kord for short, you see what they did there? Arnold Beck was laid off by Ted, and then recruited by the Manhunters, who provided him with a battle suit. You know, typical villain origin story stuff. Overthrow's armor is equipped with jets, so he can fly around, and it protects him from physical harm. That being said, Blue Beetle has still smacked him around on occasion. Overthrow is equipped with a stylized cesta that he uses to hurl energy balls at opponents. Besides having an awesomely badass name, CARAPAX, the indestructible man, is, well, indestructible. Although he is not immortal, CARAPAX is intensely powerful and durable due to his robot body. How did he get this robot body, you ask? Well, CARAPAX stumbled upon an unmanned, indestructible robot that electrocuted him and somehow absorbed his mind. CARAPAX is powerful, but he's ultimately just a machine and B-level villain who has been handled by the Blue Beetle with ease. Affiliated with both the Teen Titans and the Doom Patrol, and even becoming the leader of the latter, MENTO possesses a helmet that provides him with telekinetic powers. Not only that, but it also allows him to fly and take full-on control of people's minds. Although typically portrayed as a hero, MENTO will cross that line if he deems necessary, and because of this, he and Blue Beetle have duked it out a few times. Neither character is verifiably more powerful than the other, and both have traded wins and losses, but Blue Beetle has at least stifled MENTO before, so it counts. The Flash has Reverse Flash, Superman has Bizarro, Shazam has Black Adam, and Blue Beetle has the Black Beetle, as I'm sure you are capable of figuring out on your own. Black Beetle is a scarab using supervillain, and besides his powers, is the virtual opposite of anyone who's donned the Blue Beetle mantle. Black Beetle is a time traveler who was sent to the past to try and prevent Jaime Reyes from becoming Blue Beetle. However, judging by the title of this video, that obviously didn't work out too well for that guy. Go figure. Dr. Polaris is a mentally disturbed scientist whose real name is Neil Emerson. Neil became Dr. Polaris after continually exposing himself to intense magnetic fields. Because of his magnetic powers, Polaris has become one of the Green Lantern's most fierce enemies. That being said, when it comes to the Blue Beetle, the Doctor has been outmatched in his field of mastery before. Using his own knowledge of magnetism, Blue Beetle was able to create a shield of magnetic energy that countered Polaris's powers, leading to the villain's defeat. Talk about a taste of your own medicine. While on the topic of nefarious doctors, Dr. Alchemy, aka Mr. Element, has also been outsmarted by the Blue Beetle. Dr. Alchemy typically is seen fighting the Flash using his Philosopher's Stone. No connection to Harry Potter, of course, but that has not stopped him from crossing paths with the second Blue Beetle, Ted Kord. The stone allows its possessor to wield magic and makes them virtually immortal, which is totally not chill because alchemy has multiple personalities and is incredibly unpredictable. In Blue Beetle Volume 6, Number 4, good old Teddy was able to get his hands on the Philosopher's Stone, stripping Doc Alchemy of his powers, defeating him in the process. Maxwell Lord IV is a wealthy businessman responsible for creating the Justice League International. The discovery of his meta-human superpowers combined with his aforementioned attributes that really sets Lord apart from the rest. Maxwell Lord is an immensely powerful telepath who can and will control people's minds. However, Lord cannot control artificial intelligence, which Blue Beetle can control, and which he once used to overload Maxwell's powers, causing a mental overload and, more than likely, one very bad headache. And there you have it, the 10 strongest villains Blue Beetle has defeated. Be sure to hit that like button if you have not already, and enable notifications while you're down there so you don't miss any criminal comic content.